N-word is used 23 times. There are 12 anti-Asian slurs, 13 anti-Semitic references, 15 slurs targeting women, and that's just my count of slurs from one civil lawsuit filed today by Karen Reed in Massachusetts. The men allegedly saying this were law enforcement. They had badges, they had guns, they had the power to investigate, arrest, search your phone, and shape a criminal case against you. Now, of course, Reed was accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her SUV outside a Canton, Massachusetts home back in 2022. She said she was framed. Her first trial ended in a hung jury. The second trial, she was acquitted of the major charges tied to O'Keefe's death. Now she is suing the Massachusetts State Police and the town of Canton. And the complaint includes pages of alleged messages involving 2 law enforcement officers tied to the investigation. You'll know the names. Former state trooper Michael Proctor, who led the Massachusetts State Police investigation, and former Canton Police Sergeant Sean Good, who worked the initial Canton investigation. Now, the lawsuit calls them bigots. Now, this one hits particularly close to home for me because I lived in Canton. I'm a lesbian with an Asian American daughter, and I chose Canton because it felt welcoming. It had a large Jewish community, a large Asian American community, gay families. It was diverse. There was a sense of acceptance, and for me, it was welcoming. But now I'm reading a complaint alleging that 2 law enforcement officers who were my neighbors talked about people like me and my family with language that I cannot and will not repeat here. Sean Good was part of the police department charged with keeping families like mine safe. And Michael Proctor was a state trooper working around communities like mine. So this case has gone far beyond what happened to John O'Keefe and what happened to Karen Reed. It's now about who gets a badge, who vets them, who supervises them, and who looks the other way when things don't seem to be the way they are. Now, according to the complaint, the Boston Police Department did not hire Michael Proctor, but the Massachusetts State Police did. And years later, Michael Proctor allegedly wrote, "No idea how I passed the background." No kidding. That may be the most important sentence in the whole lawsuit, because Karen Reed's lawyers are not just saying 2 men failed. They're saying the systems failed before these men even touched her case. More text messages have come out in the filing, and oh my God, these men are fucking monsters. Not only are they openly talking about SAing women, not only are they supremacists, they openly talk about their desire to enslave people again. There are multiple messages in which they talk about waiting until their girlfriends are asleep to try and do things to them that they do not consent to. They literally call the women that they sleep with pigs. Michael Proctor openly says that he needs a root or something to find a partner. Eat a Ghana. Let's enslave those. And my car needs a cleaning. They were talking about a college football game when Proctor says, "You notice that headband from A&M said something like, 'Cash me out.' Would it be nice if they were still our slaves? Then I wouldn't have to go pick up Bertucci. Hey, go fetch Bear his wings and pizza." They are literally calling children the N-word. If I'm remembering correctly, Hernandez was one of their co-workers, and they called him a stupid... The NBA is god-awful, and it's an effing joke. These super teams and the refs are running the league. Plus, it's all... America sucks. The little mustache man was really onto something. Then the effing U.S. had to step in and ruin it. We should really keep them in a camp. Sean Good says Anne Frank is a lying... Oh, and should we even talk about how there's a text message where Proctor discussed planting stuff on people? The Norfolk District Attorney's Office knew about these text messages since October of 2024. Sean Good was still a fucking police officer until 2 days ago. I'm just curious, has the protesters showed up at their homes yet? Because these men should never have another fucking moment of peace in their life. And there's no fucking way it was just these guys.